Rampage Pro Wrestling Championship Edition. The holidays are here and the action is hot and heavy. Our TV main event today, the NWA RPW Heavyweight Champion, the untouchable Jeremy Vane, defends his title against the challenge of one half of the usual suspects, AJ Steele. And right here, the big man, Charlie Cash, brings out Bobby Moore, hit for hire, and he might better need some cash for this one.
Well, you say the big man's his opponent. The priest of punishment is going to be here. And you know, as you talk about a great main event this week, we're only 1 week away from a 2 out of 3 falls, 60-minute time limit television extravaganza. The NWA four-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, defending against Kyle Matthews. That's next week. And what a great match this week. We've already started off with a lot of excitement on this show, and what a great match we have here.
Absolutely. Glad you joined us here for this edition of Rampage Pro Wrestling. And we've seen hit for hire Bobby Moore have a little problem here with this big giant individual, the priest of punishment they call him, Mikael Judas. And certainly that cane of Charlie Cash may come into play here. Charlie Cash tries to stay away from people like Mikael Judas. Mikael Judas, the priest of punishment.
He is from the heart of darkness, weighing in at 273 pounds. He is the priest of punishment, Mikael Judas.
And maybe Charlie Cash is using that cane because he was attacked by Mikael Judas.
And he was, and I believe that's what he has been telling everyone, that he needs the cane now for support. I have a feeling he needs the cane as a weapon out there against someone like Mikael Judas. The one thing he knows for sure is to get the heck out of the ring when Mikael Judas is entering the ring.
I didn't know Charlie Cash could get out of the ring so fast. And Bobby Moore is also outside the ring now. The ring now belongs to Mikael Judas, the priest of punishment, and that's what he does. And a large individual, a man who's made his presence known here at Rampage Pro Wrestling, coming back now for a piece of hit for hire, Bobby Moore, and perhaps to send a message to Charlie Cash. And remember, hit for hire Bobby Moore is one half of the reigning NWA RPW Tag Team Champions with Rob Adonis. So that title is something that has not eluded him. And now, Mikael Judas ready for action as hit for hire Bobby Moore and Charlie Cash are discussing perhaps a game plan. You would have to have a plan against a man like this, but I don't know what the plan would be.
One thing you have to remember, and I'm sure that we've reminded the fans over and over, Bobby Moore is hit for hire. I have a feeling that the real issue is going to be inevitably Mikael Judas and the other big man, Rob Adonis. I know you remember we were in the Mega Rumble. Rob Adonis, I believe, was embarrassed by Mikael Judas in that Mega Rumble. Rob Adonis, one of the favorites going in, as was Mikael Judas. Mikael Judas, very impressive, eliminated all of the Jimmy Rave approved athletes before Rob Adonis entered, and you thought these two could be the competitors that would go all the way to the end, but very quickly, Mikael Judas able to pin Rob Adonis right there in the middle of the ring. Rob Adonis gone in literally less than 2 minutes in that particular match. And you have a Fed had to have embarrassed Charlie Cash, and now what does he do? He sends his hitman after him.
And the hitman certainly looking at him with some caution, as he should. This man towering over hit for hire Bobby Moore.
Well, and Bobby Moore has been used as a lethal weapon for the Cash Vault, sacrificed in many cases to get for what I guess Charlie Cash believes is the greater good. And you have to admit, there was a method to that madness because Rob Adonis and Bobby Moore are the Rampage Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
And now going for a lockup, and Bobby Moore backing off already. Maybe partial psychology, but a lot of it probably is fear.
Well, right there, Judas launches a huge boot at Bobby Moore, who moves out of the way. He's telling the fans he's not chicken. I think he's smart to be scared at this point.
I think it would be a smart thing to be cautious with a man like Mikael Judas. Swing and miss there by Judas, and Charlie Cash egging on his protege, so to speak.
Now backed into the corner, referee telling Michael Judas to give him separation. Bobby Moore can't get away that time, thrown into the corner, and Judas in with shoulder block after shoulder block in the corner, hard to the midsection of Bobby Moore, taking all the wind out of him and taking him off his feet.
Even caught him in the throat with that last one. Went for a punch, missed. And Bobby Moore now, this might be his time, but not a register there. Not registering those punches like he wanted him to. A couple of good right hands there by hit for higher Bobby Moore. Arm puts him across, stops in midair, and caught him with a blind punch there. Forearm.
Caught it. Al, as he was telling the ref he had used a legal forearm, he was caught flush in the face with a big boot, and out to the floor goes Bobby Moore. Charlie Cash over, fanning him, but never taking his eyes off the priest of punishment.
Well, you don't turn your back to a man like Michael Judas for long, that's for sure. Talk about a nightmare. This guy is a nightmare for anyone. And Bobby Moore, I think, may have loosened up some teeth, the few that he had left. And now grabbing a handful of hair, pulling the man up to the apron, and drops across the throat. Michael Judas cut off that time by Bobby Moore. If this is where Bobby Moore is smart, Bobby Moore obviously knows what it takes to take a man down, and it's not the size of the fight the man, but the man the fight, right?
Very much so. A big boot there. Bobby Moore stands up Judas, but doesn't take him off his feet. And I tell you right now, the only way Bobby Moore is going to have a chance in this match, my opinion, is he's going to have to get Michael Judas off his feet. He's going to have to get him down to the mat. As we've said before, and Gordon Solie made popular, everyone's the same size when you can get them down on the mat.
Absolutely, and now he's visiting all the turnbuckles around the ring. And now just standing there staggering, picks him up with a single arm and totes him around, showing that great power he possesses, and slams him down hard.
Bobby Moore taking a ton of punishment so far in this particular match, but hasn't given up on the fight as Judas comes in with a big knee drop to the throat, and now covering and forcing that head sideways, but not hooking the leg. And with an athlete like Bobby Moore, you need to hook the leg, no matter who you are, no matter how big you are. He's hooking him now, and we've seen this as the setup for the El Crucifijo, which he's used many times before. Hernandez and TNA refers to it as the border toss.
And he's setting him up, not able to get him up yet. Bobby Moore trying to block him.
And right now, Charlie Cash grabs him. Judas releases. Charlie Cash, though, looks scared every time he looks at Judas, and who can blame him after what happened last time here?
Charlie Cash, well, he's looking for the parking lot right now. He's going way away.
Wait a minute, Judas, as getting out of the ring, came up with a slight limp. I just noticed that, Ben.
And he's chasing Charlie Cash.
Yeah, but not very fast. I think he may have twisted an ankle or something coming off there. If so, that is going to potentially be something that could turn a corner here. And now Charlie Cash is in the ring, and it's I guess the aggression is initiated by Michael Judas, and no disqualification at this point, but that allowed Bobby Moore to come in and take that leg out, or start to at least. Charlie Cash sacrificed himself. I never thought I would see that.
He didn't have a heart attack in the process. And now has that leg stretched out. Michael Judas has been cut off, and we did see that limp, and that's exactly what a man that is hit for hire will do, look for a weakness and capitalize on it.
It's the most cardio I think Charlie Cash has done in his lifetime.
Absolutely. The buffet is showing right now. Hard punch by the right hand.
Charlie Cash is the guy
Moore.
when he goes to an all-you-can-eat buffet, they close.
They said you go now. And a boot now to the priest of punishment, right hand there. And now moving out of the ring, Bobby Moore taking full advantage of this possible leg injury and this weakness of Michael Judas. If you find a weakness in a big man, that's what you go for.
You notice Judas did everything he could to resist being thrown in there, but Bobby Moore, using his body weight, was able to still land the side of that knee, unprotected side of the knee to the side of that iron pole. And I tell you, knee versus pole, pole gets to win.
And we know that if you take the leg out from under the table falls, and that's exactly what Bobby Moore is hoping will happen here as he continues the assault on Michael Judas.
And you notice Charlie Cash has moved to the total opposite side of the arena here as this match has moved to the outside. Bobby Moore listening to the count, He gets everything back in the ring, and he's going to continue to stalk Michael Judas, who's down now. And again, we noted that's where he wanted him. Needed him down on the mat. That's the only time he was going to have an opportunity. And now it's Bobby Moore impressively showing offense on the big man, Michael Judas.
And now referee Dustin Robinson warning him about staying on top of the man, not going for the break. And now with a front transfer, it could turn easily into a choke. On the ropes now. Again, referee calling for a break. He's on the ropes. He has to break. And Michael Judas very slowly on that apron. Head ran right into the turnbuckle.
Well, of the choices, that was the better of the two. I thought he was going to bring him into the top part of that corner post, which could have been very dangerous. Judas was, I think, thinking the same thing and fighting to stay away from that. Took the lesser of two evils, but neither one is a really good thing.
And there's all kind of danger around that turnbuckle. That turnbuckle protects you from what's underneath, and that certainly is not a good
Judas manages to get to his feet, looked like he was going for a choke slam, but then taken back down again is Michael Judas.
Again, continuing to work on that leg. Taking both legs now, dragging him away from the ropes.
Bobby Moore now hooks the leg, cinches it around. Looks like I thought he might have been going for a figure four here, but instead he's just wrenching that knee around as he has a side ankle lock. Putting pressure on that toe hold right there. Drops it. Not sure that was a good idea. Now he's reversed, going for the more damaged leg. I think he was trying to do a little bit of damage to the support leg before he went back to the damaged leg. Smart maneuvering.
Now, the spinning toe hold is something that won the world title, I believe, for Dory Funk Jr.
And for Terry Funk.
So that's something that certainly is very painful. And we've seen in the history of professional wrestling, especially the NWA. Kickoff there by Michael Judas.
One of the great feuds, as you mentioned, the spinning toe hold of my youth was Dory Funk Jr. versus Jack Briscoe, spinning toe hold against the figure four. Both working on the leg and again reinforcing. You get that man off your feet, go for that individual body part, you have a chance to become champion.
Two masters of the ring, and certainly the late Jack Briscoe, a phenomenal competitor.
Michael Judas from the ground launches his hand forward, catches Bobby Moore by the throat, and now forcing himself through the pain to his feet, Ben.
Okay, and now it's the man grabbing him and trying to retaliate, but cut off by Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore is so far not intimidated as progresses, but didn't catch that, and Judas catches and another blow. Judas having trouble standing, but having no trouble taking Bobby Moore off his feet with blow after blow, and now from behind, hooks him. Atomic drop, forces him into the ropes, and as he comes off, he catches him.
There you go. He's going to go for that choke slam, picks him up, taught him up high.
Look at the elevation, but also the support gave out as he did that, but back up quickly, fighting through the pain again is Michael Judas, the priest of punishment, and he signals that it's going to be over.
And Bobby Moore now moving very slowly as Michael Judas sets him up for the big move. He's got him. Gonna fly now. Oh! Look at that power.
Nearly halfway across the ring, hooks him, grabs the leg, full body weight, and that's plenty right there.
And Michael Judas, the priest of punishment, he got punished a little bit in that match, but showed what he's made of. And Charlie Cash wanting to get in that ring, but certainly hesitating to do so.
Well, I think he wants to get Bobby Moore out of the ring, honestly. Judas looks down at his prey and now back toward the crowd.
And should Michael Judas ever get a tag team partner, obviously he would be a top threat. And here comes Rob Adonis and Jeremy Vane. And we've seen Jeremy Vane. What has he got? He just broke that chain on the leg of Michael. Oh, snapping that leg, the already injured leg of Michael Judas. Rob Adonis coming in with Jeremy Vane, the RPW champion. And we know Rob Adonis certainly still upset that he was pinned by this man and eliminated in the Battle Royal, the Royal Rumble for RPW. And now putting the boots to him, and Michael Judas is stretched out on the apron in a bad way. He just pinned one half of the tag team champions. The other half's in there now.
That cane has been shattered. There's pieces around the ring. And now Rob Adonis, I said that he had to be feeling an embarrassment. Now it hooks him in a half crab and has him in the middle of the ring. We need to get, we got some help finally.
There's more than one coming out here, and AJ Steele. And we've seen the alliance between these three before, and certainly no love lost with the cash vault. And that stick still is a weapon. It's a splintered weapon right now. And I just wonder how much of his leg also got splintered. So nonetheless, the winner is the priest of punishment, Mikael Judas, but certainly paid for it at the end, the hands of Rob Adonis and Jeremy Vane. You're watching Rampage Pro Wrestling. And coming up next, of course, the title match you're going to see Jeremy Vane out here defending that title against this man, AJ Steele.